giving it to you, giving it to you, so you can't take it no more for these 19 days until we get to 11/20/25. So be prepared to be sick of me. Not my lines, but the people outside of the den. Anyway, I don't care. If you have not pre-saved Ain't No Loverboy FR, you need to pre-save. The link is in my bio. I said yes. I did say you need to. You need to go ahead and pre-save it right now. Y'all know I'm just coming here vibing, doing my big ones, let my people know what's up and what's good. All right. I'm really sad because one day is gonna be a time where my life is gonna be so busy I ain't gonna even have time to do these. I'm not gonna even have time to really check in with y'all. And it's like, it's probably gonna be sooner than what I think. So if you have not pre-saved Ain't No Loverboy, I said that already. I'm gonna tell you again. Pre-save Ain't No Loverboy FR. It's out in the 19 days. 11/20/25. We're doing big things in the lines then. But I really want to, as these 19 days go by, I'm gonna just communicate with y'all more and let y'all know more about what's going on, everything, in ANLBFR and stuff like that. So I'm like this for a reason, y'all. I'm passionate. I say the things I do, and I reiterate things the way I do, and because I want y'all to get it. You know what I mean? I want you to get it because it's the truth. All right? You feel what I'm saying? So, and even if you don't feel what I'm saying, you're gonna have no choice. Because yeah, we're doing big things in the lives now. So, and if you don't feel what I'm saying, if you don't feel what I'm saying, you shouldn't even be here right now. So that is that. But I can say that I'm like this for a reason. And I want to paint this picture for y'all so y'all know exactly why I am the way I am, why I do what I do and how, why I give it up the way I do. You know, of course, we know all my life, we know this, I've told y'all this, all my life I've been talented. All my life I've been working, and not, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. I ain't been working all my life. Because I was a kid at one point, I was everywhere singing and stuff. I guess you can say I was working, but I've always been talented. I've been winning awards. I won Mr. LDHS in my high school. I won the overall and the talent portion. I also won like some theater awards for South Carolina. I was in marching band, gospel choir, and theater all 3 years of my high school years because I graduated high school early at 17 years old. So I had a lot of accolades. What's up, Isabella? I had a lot of accolades in high school, and from childhood. And on top of me being in gospel choir, on top of me doing all these different things, theater, gospel choir, marching band, 3 years in high school, and I graduated a year early. I won county competition shows. And I'm only bringing this up so y'all just can know why I come and why I am the way I am. So even though I was so successful, growing up as a kid, I was fat. I had a gap. I was short, and I was brown skinned. That's four da 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 da. All right, because in my mind and like in society, it's a tall, light skinned, nice teeth man. And this is what I'm thinking as a kid. And despite my talents and accolades and stuff like that, I always didn't feel like I was worthy. You know, I always felt different. I always felt like I didn't fit in. I always felt like I didn't have a community. I always felt like I didn't have a voice. Despite I was in these different plays at the school, I was winning these county competitions. I was doing a lot of stuff, you know, and with that, the man I've grown into, you know, I look back at times in my life and I'm just very grateful, but it's like I'm also humble with it because I'm humble with it. That's all I can say because I look good, but people don't know the things I went through. I remember being in school, and this is just stuff I think back now as a growing adult influencer and celebrity, doing my thing in the industry. I think about how I remember sometimes like girls would be like, "Oh, he's ugly as fuck." I remember girls saying that about me as a kid, and like sometimes like now those same girls have like tried to try me or like tried to backtrack, but I remember them saying that, and I remember I had a gap, so people used to always think I was mean, but I wasn't mean. I just didn't smile because I didn't want people to notice my gap, But I still was in stuff. I still was doing like theater. I still was doing marching band. And I was good at it. I was winning awards. I was doing all this major stuff, But a lot of people had a lot of opinions about me, And I'm gonna tell you, as I got into high school, I'm just only doing this because nobody's gonna give my narrative out for me, you know. Um, as I was in high school, you know, you grow more into who you are, what you like, and stuff like that. The rumor started. You know how it gets. You know how it gets when you're, you know, when you're coming into yourself and you blatantly rumors started circulating around the school as if was I gay. You know what I'm saying? What I had going on and stuff like that. And so I went through a lot of that, you know, and a lot of people persecuting me with that. So like I told you on the live, okay, I'm fat, I had a gap, I was short, you know, it was a lot of things going against me. And then it's rumors that I'm gay. That was a lot. But I still was doing stuff. I still was in theater. I still was in marching band. I still was winning awards. I still was going through shit. A lot of people had like this like they were just weird to me growing up for real. They were just really, really weird to me. But it also was a certain thing, like people respected me. People used to always respect me for real, for real, for real. And they would talk shit about me, but it was never in my face. It was never in my face, you know. But people had opinions about me. And you know, a lot of people I was never their first pick. Like in school and shit, I wasn't the first pick. And now those same people sit back and they watch me. They watch me getting these accolades. They watch me doing this stuff. And so that's why now in my life, I show up for myself the way I do. And when I tell y'all, like when I say stuff like for the fat black kid in the back of the class, that's because that was me. That was me. So if you don't get it, you just won't get it. If you have not been overlooked, underlooked, people said you're not gonna be nothing. If you haven't been the family black sheep and a sheep and outcast, you won't understand it. You won't understand my story of becoming a nobody to somebody or me elevating and becoming in like a success. You won't get it because I've been the unseen. I've been the unheard. I've been the one who people didn't deem valuable. Whole time I'm the treasure chest. That's why I come so hard. That's why I'm passionate now as I speak. Because nobody will ever play me. So when I speak and I say what I say, you either take heed or you leave. Exactly. You either take heed or you leave because it's not no play. I've worked hard to speak about myself the way I have because it's the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. I went too long and spent too many years not giving myself the love and attention and grace that I really deserved. Honestly, letting people's opinions get to me. My anxiety used to be so bad, for real. It's crazy. Even now, navigating celebrity, I still have anxiety. You know what I'm saying? I have anxiety now, but I don't let it get the best of me. So I show up, and I don't even give a fuck about it. I'm just letting y'all know about who I once was and why I am the way I am now. It's because at one point in time, I was an overlooked little boy, an overlooked young man, an overlooked teenager. That's why I come on here that's why I do what I do. A lot of times people try to, I've had friends in the past, they will get mad at me because I speak to certain people and the people who people deem as just successful or just all that, I overlook them because you're used to getting that. Let's talk to people who aren't seen, who aren't valued, who aren't heard. That's why sometimes when comments come on the screen, I go for the ones that I feel like, yeah. Because I'm one of those people. It's like, you know how you got those people, you know, and I'm only just giving y'all this terminology just for the day. You know, I'm a grown man. I've been out of high school for 8 years now. Well, hold up, 2018, so 6 years now. So, you know, you got those weird people in school. You know, the anime watchers, the ones who be running, you know, the ones who be running around the school, they're a little weird, you know. If I hadn't been me, and if I was a little bit more weird,